Biden's ceasefire gamble, a legacy in the line. Recently, the Biden administration brokered a historic ceasefire agreement, successfully ending a 14-month-long conflict between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. This agreement has been regarded as one of the major diplomatic achievements of Biden's presidency. According to ACTWANT report on November 26, 2024, the agreement outlined a 60-day transitional phase during which Israeli forces will gradually withdraw from certain areas, with the United Nations coordinating and monitoring the implementation of the agreement. In a statement, Biden described this as a historic agreement and reaffirmed U.S. support for Israel's security and efforts to prevent terrorist organizations from destabilizing the region. He further emphasized that this achievement demonstrated the possibility of turning battlefield courage into hope and prosperity. French President Emmanuel Macron praised the agreement, calling it the result of months of effort, and urged all parties to continue promoting the ceasefire and humanitarian assistance. However, as the Biden administration prepares to leave office, analysts have expressed concerns about whether the agreement can endure under the influence of the incoming Trump administration. This remains an unresolved question. Reflecting on Biden's presidency, it is evident that his domestic and foreign policies face multiple challenges. First, the withdrawal from Afghanistan became one of Biden's early key decisions. He announced a complete U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan, ending a 20-year war. However, the abrupt withdrawal allowed the Taliban to quickly regain power, drawing widespread global criticism of his decision. Subsequently, Russia's invasion of Ukraine shifted the Biden administration's focus to supporting Ukraine. Biden swiftly provided significant military and economic aid to Ukraine, making it a cornerstone of his foreign policy. However, this also triggered domestic discontent due to the enormous costs involved. In terms of climate policy, Biden led the U.S. back into the Paris Agreement and introduced several initiatives to reduce carbon emissions, including the Inflation Reduction Act. Yet, these policies face strong opposition in the Republican-dominated Congress, leading to limited progress. Additionally, U.S.-China relations continued to deteriorate during Biden's presidency. He extended Trump's tough stance on China, adopting stricter measures on trade, technology, and Taiwan issues, further escalating tensions between the two nations. Finally, the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hezbollah emerged as a bright spot in Biden's foreign policy. Through this initiative, Biden sought to leave a positive diplomatic legacy in his presidency. This diplomatic action also reflects Biden's multifaceted goals. First, he aims to establish a historical legacy for his term, avoiding the perception of lacking significant achievements, especially with Trump repeatedly asserting that ceasefire agreements can be achieved quickly. Biden needed to respond to such criticisms with tangible results. Second, the divisions in U.S. domestic opinions on Middle East policy also pushed Biden to advance the ceasefire. While some voters wanted the U.S. to actively engage in global peace efforts, others demanded reduced military involvement. The success of the ceasefire agreement allowed Biden to address the needs of both groups simultaneously. However, with Trump winning the 2024 presidential election, the Democratic Party faces mounting pressure. Biden's accomplishment is not only an attempt to preserve policy influence for the Democratic Party but also a preventive measure against future challenges from Trump's administration. On the international stage, Biden's actions hold profound strategic intentions. He hopes to use the ceasefire agreement to reshape the U.S.'s global leadership image, particularly in the conflict-ridden Middle East, presenting the U.S. as a key mediator. At the same time, this initiative helps balance the U.S.'s relationships with Israel and Arab nations, earning more support from international allies. Additionally, the ceasefire agreement is viewed as an indirect strategy to counter Russia and China. The Middle East has long been a theater of U.S.-Russia rivalry, and China's Belt and Road Initiative poses a challenge to U.S. influence. Biden aims to use the ceasefire agreement to solidify the U.S.'s regional dominance and signal that the U.S. remains the primary force in solving global problems. However, this initiative also faces multiple risks. First, the implementation of the ceasefire agreement is highly challenging. The long-standing hostility between Hezbollah and Israel means even minor breaches of the agreement could reignite conflict. Second, the stability of the Middle East remains subject to the influence of other nations, such as Iran and Syria, which could shift the regional dynamics at any time. Moreover, domestic and international public opinion pressures pose challenges to Biden. If the ceasefire agreement collapses, Biden may face intensified criticism, particularly from Trump's supporters. In conclusion, Biden's diplomatic initiative is both an effort to establish a historical legacy and a response to domestic and international pressures and challenges. While the ceasefire agreement is undoubtedly a symbolic achievement, its ultimate evaluation will depend on its execution and its long-term impact on the Middle East. Whether Biden can use this agreement to reinforce U.S. influence in the Middle East remains to be seen. If the ceasefire holds, he will be remembered as a successful mediator on the global stage. However, if the agreement fails, his diplomatic legacy may be significantly diminished.